while respecting the One China policy. Our solidarity with you is more important than ever as you defend Taiwan and your freedom. In our bilateral meeting, we discussed key opportunities to deepen our partnership, upholding democracy and human rights and respect for the individual, combating, well, I'll get around to karma. 3 areas that I just mentioned: security, economy, governance. Security, our relationship is a strong one, and we discussed how we can make it stronger and more and up to date. In economy, we talked about a trade agreement that might be possible and soon.
नैन्सी पेलोसी इस समय कह रही हैं कि किस तरह से दोनों देशों के आर्थिक संबंध को और मजबूत बनाया जाए, इस पर गंभीर चर्चा हुई दोनों देशों के बीच.
Vaccination, but also the lowest number of deaths from COVID, a real model for the world. It's about
ताइवान पूरी दुनिया के लिए एक मिसाल है. सबसे ज्यादा वैक्सीनेशन और सबसे कम कोविड में मृत्यु ताइवान में हुई, और इसके लिए धन्यवाद दिया वहां की राष्ट्रपति को.
Those 3 areas, we come here following the president's lead on the Indo-Pacific economic framework. That's interesting. We support that. Again, in terms of security, economy, and governance. Taiwan's not part of that, so we want to build a different set with the economic package, with our security package, and a trade agreement, hopefully, that is imminent. So
एक और बड़ी बात, हिंद प्रशांत महासागर में न केवल सुरक्षा बल्कि वहां का व्यापार और वाणिज्य, उसको कैसे और बेहतर बनाया जाए, इस पर भी सहमति और इस पर और बातचीत आगे चलेगी.
Aspire to, but don't understand as fully as we do now because of this trip. So again, I said it's a great pride for us today. The first woman speaker in the House. Meeting the first woman president of Taiwan. We have some enthusiasm for that, and again, we're very proud of our representative, Sandra Aajtak, and I'm proud of my colleague, Susan Delbene. So it may took a moment to take some pride in women's leadership. Again, our delegation came here to send an unequivocal message. America stands with Taiwan.
अमेरिका ताइवान के साथ खड़ा है, ये संदेश हम देना चाहते हैं. 25 साल में पहली इतनी वरिष्ठ व्यक्ति की यात्रा. और अब प्रश्नोत्तर
from Taiwanese media, and it will be raised by Mr. Joseph Ye from CNA. Joseph.
President Tsai, Madam Speaker, I'm Joe from the Central News Agency. I'm representing more than hundreds of Taiwanese media. I was given one question, so the question will be a little bit long, so please bear with me, because we have waited for 25 years for this chance. So you're the first House Speaker to visit Taiwan in 25 years, so do you foresee that your visit will bring up even more similar high senior official U.S. to visit Taiwan in the future, or maybe future speakers? This is the first part of the question. And the second part is, in accordance with Taiwan Travel Act, high-level visit a two-way thing. So a lot of U.S. congressmen has proposed President Tsai to speak at U.S. Congress, if possible. Do you see that it could realize anytime soon in the near future, especially under your leadership in the House? And the final question is, I'm sorry, 25 years again, sorry. The final question is, how do you see how the Chinese welcome you with military exercise and sanctions against Taiwan? Do you foresee that? Thank you.
Well, first let me thank you for your questions on behalf of all of those other people. And to say that in terms of our visit here, and would that lead to other visits, I certainly hope so. But I think it's important to note that members of Congress, several of them had made trips just earlier this year. 5 senators, bipartisan, came, again including the chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, Mr. Menendez, came. Not too much of a fuss was made. Individual senators have made trips or plan to make trips. And I just hope that it's really clear that while China has stood in the way of Taiwan participating and going to certain meetings, that they understand that they will not stand in the way of people coming to Taiwan. It's a show of friendship, support, but also a source of learning about how we can work together better in collaboration. So, I think that they made a big fuss because I'm speaker, I guess. I don't know if that was a reason or an excuse, because they didn't say anything when men came. What the second part was,
invited to the U.S. Congress to make...
Oh, that was the third part, but I'll go there.
Okay.
That was the third part I thought. We haven't had a joint session in probably 3 years in Congress, partially because of COVID. Even before that, it was Christmas and all that. So we haven't had many joint sessions. But we have tried to accommodate visits by bringing together both sides of the aisle and both sides of the Capitol. And I would hope that that opportunity would be there. The joint session has become something, again, because of COVID, we can't be able to do. It's even hard for us to do the President's State of the Union address, because you have to space and you have to time and, well, you know, here we are. I don't know. I think that whatever China was going to do, they will do in their own good time. What excuse they may use to do it is another thing. But you really know more about that than I do. I do think that it's really important for the message to be clear that in the Congress, House and Senate, Democrats and Republicans are committed to the security of Taiwan in order to have Taiwan be able to most effectively defend themselves. But it also is about our shared values of democracy and freedom, and how Taiwan has been an example to the world in that regard. And whether it's certain insecurities on the part of the president of China as to his own political situation that he's rattling a saber, I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. What matters to us is that we salute the successes of Taiwan. We work together for the security of Taiwan, and we just take great lessons from the democracy in China.
Thank you
नैन्सी
very much,
पेलोसी का
Madam Speaker.
बड़ा बयान,
And now we
हम
take
साथ
questions
साथ
from the
हैं
international
और
media.
ताइवान
And
की
I'd like to
सुरक्षा
invite
के लिए
Ellie,
प्रतिबद्ध
who is
है
the Taipei Bureau Chief
अमेरिका।
of Bloomberg News.
प्रश्न ये पूछा गया था कि जो सैन्य अभ्यास हो रहा है, उस पर आपका क्या कहना है? और उन्होंने कहा कि हम ताइवान की सुरक्षा के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं।
Actions against individual Taiwanese companies and entire sectors of the economy here. Taiwan has already paid a cost for your visit and is likely to continue to do so over the coming days and weeks. What concrete, tangible benefits can you promise Taiwan to offset the cost of your trip?
Well, at the same time as this trip is taking place and in recognition of our common interest economically, we just passed the Chips and Science Act. This is something that opens the door for us to, again, have better economic exchanges. I know that some Taiwan businesses, significant ones, are already planning to invest in manufacturing in the United States. And the ingenuity, the entrepreneurial spirit, the brain power, whatever, the intellectual resource that exists in Taiwan, and the success of the tech industry here, for one sector, has been really a model and again, we want to increase our relationship. So I think that I would be saying that would be a goal we share, but with the CHIPS Act, we're really facilitating reaching that goal. And it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, and I think that you
नैन्सी पेलोसी का एक और बड़ा बयान, मेक इन अमेरिका में साझेदारी निभाएगा ताइवान, और खासतौर पर हाई एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, इंटेलेक्चुअल रिसोर्सेज, ब्रेन पावर, इन सब का जो जहां ताइवान का वर्चस्व है टेक्नोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में, उसमें बड़ी भूमिका रहेगी ताइवान की मेक इन अमेरिका में, टेक्नोलॉजी में, इन्वेस्टमेंट में.
He is the bureau chief of Asahi Shimbun of Japan.
Hello,
Konnichiwa.
Hello, Speaker Pelosi. Konnichiwa. Thank you very much for taking my questions. My question is about Chinese democracy. Now we are witnessing the Chinese authorities increasing various pressures, not only to Taiwanese people and Hong Kongese, but to their own citizens, I mean the Chinese people. And as a strong and long-time advocate of democracy, please let us share your ideas how the democratic countries, including South Korea, Japan, where you are heading to, can deter China from invading Taiwan militarily, and how we can guide China toward a democratic political system. Thank you.
Well, two things. In the context, your question comes in the context of right now a struggle between autocracy and democracy in the world. We cannot back away from that. And so as China goes and uses its soft power, money and whatever, into many countries in order to get their support at the UN and other bodies, we have to recognize if that has effectiveness, because it's a lot of money and it's promises that may or may not ever be kept. So when we talk about Taiwan in that context, we have to talk from strength. We have to talk from strength. We have to talk from what Taiwan has been so good about is being technologically advanced, whether it's in business or security. And we have to show the world, and that's one of the purposes of our trip, to show the world the success of the people of Taiwan, their courage to change their own country to become more democratic, their respect for people and the rest, and quite frankly, a model in this region in that respect, in those respects. So strength, goodwill, and again, the demonstration of a democracy that has evolved to a stronger place now, and it offers a very strong contrast to what's happening on mainland China. No more evidence needed than what happened in Hong Kong under one country, two systems.